Could the United States really invade China? If China took military action against Taiwan, would the US really send in the troops? Let's find out! Western Pacific, 2 a.m. Somewhere off Guam, a Virginia-class submarine glides silently beneath the waves. The ocean above is calm, almost deceptively serene. High above, Beta stealth bombers drift across the night sky, shadows against the moon. Their payloads are loaded, their targets locked. One wrong move could ignite a global conflict. Yet, the crews carry on with precise, almost mechanical calm. The trigger is simple but explosive. China moves on Taiwan. For Washington, this isn't just a standoff. It's a line that cannot be crossed. But could America really invade China? This question isn't answered by sheer firepower alone. It's a test of strategy, timing, and survival. The U.S. faces the world's largest army on home turf, fortified coastlines, and a missile wall designed to repel any intruder. NATO hesitates. Europe calls for diplomacy. Japan, South Korea, and Australia allow American forces to stage nearby, but their soldiers stay home. America stands alone, and nuclear options are off the table. One misstep here could trigger a chain reaction no one can stop. America's war machine numbers tell only part of the story. 2 to 3 carrier strike groups in the Philippine Sea, 19 B-2 stealth bombers ready to strike, 76 older B-52 bombers on standby, 24 Virginia-class nuclear submarines patrolling the deep. Even with these assets, success depends on securing a port. Without it, ammo runs low. Fuel disappears, and the entire invasion risks stalling in the ocean. The plan seems flawless, but all it takes is one enemy soldier with a sharp eye and a steady hand to fire one lucky shot. So we made sure that our elite team of writers and researchers have carefully analyzed every aspect of this invasion, making sure every detail was perfect. All of this so that when we put it in front of our team of editors, they could ensure the facts were correct and the writing was exciting and easy to read. And if you like the end result, well, we think you'll love our book, The Art of Insurgency, written by a former Navy SEAL sniper. It's a thrilling story based on real-world events of a group of elite soldiers who train a ragtag group of Iraqi insurgents to take on the might of the U.S. military. It's full of suspense, action, and real insight into the strategies used in modern warfare. You can check it out anywhere. Fine, books are sold. The first corridor is open, but will they last? Phase 2, controlling the waters. Submarines lie in ambush at choke points, hunting Chinese vessels as they exit port. B-52s drop sea mines across straits, aiming to trap entire fleets. The U.S. doesn't need permanent control. Only short windows, enough to move troops and equipment into position. One miscalculated strike could turn corridors into death traps. The sea may be conquered 4 hours, but the real challenge is landing troops on a fortified coast. Phase 3, the nightmare landing. Every potential landing site is a nightmare. The northern coast near Taiwan is short but fortified. Guangdong, in the south, links to major sea lanes, but is home to China's primary naval bases. Hainan Island bristles with sensors and submarines. Even Babu Gulf lies within the deadly range of DF-21 and DF-26 missiles. The U.S. needs a beachhead, and it needs a port. Without it, supply convoys fail, ammo disappears, fuel vanishes, and the invasion collapses before it begins. And as the Marines fight their way inland, China isn't standing idle. China's counterplay. The People's Liberation Army is vast. Nearly 1 million soldiers in combined arms brigades, 787 ships, including carriers, 80 submarines, and over 2,800 fighters. Surface-to-air missiles stretch hundreds of miles along the coast. Backed by S-400 systems, China's missile arsenals alone are terrifying. DF-21s reach over 1,000 miles. DF-26s almost 2,000. Plus supersonic YJ-12s and submarine-launched YJ-18s. But that's not all. They also possess a growing fleet of sophisticated weaponized drones, from simple loitering munitions to cutting-edge stealth drones, packing powerful paper. These drones are designed to infiltrate American defenses, targeting key installations, convoys, and even troop deployments. Waves of kamikaze drones and hypersonic DF-17 gliders threaten bases and tankers. Cyber attacks and GPS jamming can leave Marines storming beaches blind, isolated, and undersupplied. And as battles rage on the ground, a silent war is fought in cyberspace. Chinese hackers target American command centers, supply lines, and even news outlets, aiming to sow confusion and disrupt coordination. And when theory meets reality, the cost becomes staggering. Pentagon war games reveal the harsh truth. U.S. precision missiles burn fast. Tankers and supply ships are critical vulnerabilities. Troops collapse if ammo, fuel, or food doesn't arrive. Economic and political pressure skyrockets. Global shipping halts, energy markets swing violently, and stock markets crash. Americans watch as Marines face relentless fire and carriers dodge missile swarms. Emergency funding flows, but factories can't replace lost ships and weapons quickly. Weeks, maybe months. And success must come fast or the operation fails entirely. But wait! There's more! China has a secret weapon, one that could turn the tide of the conflict. Its massive network of people's armed militia. These civilian militias, armed with everything from hunting rifles to anti-tank weapons, could pose a serious threat to American supply lines. Troop deployments and rear echelon bases. Imagine a scenario where an American convoy is ambushed by a hidden militia force, delaying critical supplies, or worse, ending up stranded in a hostile area. Or picture a wheel-end militia sniper taking out a key officer during an important mission. It's a chilling thought, but it's a possibility that the U.S. military can't afford to ignore. So what happens now? Possible outcomes. Best case, after relentless strikes, U.S. forces seize a southern port. Marines push inland. Supply convoys finally flow, but the cost is staggering. Thousands of soldiers lost, ships sunk, foothold barely holding. Likely case. The port never holds. Missile strikes crush infrastructure. America shifts to blockade and long-range raids. Nightmare case. Chinese sensors remain intact. DF-21s and DF-26s obliterate carriers and amphibious ships. Thousands perish. Washington halts the invasion. We thought this was going to be a piece of cake, but this war is turning out to be a real challenge. The U.S. has thrown everything it has at China, but it's clear that this invasion is far from over. Our latest intel suggests that China has deployed self-destruct helmets. Yeah, you heard right. Self-destruct helmets. These advanced helmets are equipped with a mechanism that allows the wearer to detonate explosives upon impact, potentially taking out Havalia targets along with them. This development has raised the stakes of close combat significantly. We're talking about a situation where American troops could engage in direct hand-to-hand combat with Chinese soldiers, each wearing one of these explosive helmets. Now, it's unclear how many Chinese soldiers have been issued with these devices, but the mere presence of them has forced us to rethink our strategies. We've got to change up our tactics to account for these new developments. It's a constant game of cat and mouse. As the clock ticks, the U.S. finds itself in a precarious position, with heavy losses and limited gains. The question is, how much more can it endure? The longer this conflict drags on, the more the costs mount, not just in lives and resources, but in terms of global stability. The world watches with bated breath as this monumental struggle unfolds. Will the U.S. prevail, or will it be forced to retreat? Only time will tell. So what do you think? How do you think the invasion is going? Is the U.S. on the verge of victory, or is it in too deep to escape? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this and other thrilling stories. As the dust settles on another day of fierce fighting, the U.S. is forced to confront the grim reality of its situation. Despite its overwhelming military power, it's been unable to achieve a decisive victory against China. The casualties are mounting, and the international community is starting to question the wisdom of this costly endeavor. Calls for peace, negotiations grow louder, but the U.S. is hesitant to back down. It's a stalemate that threatens to drag on indefinitely. With each passing day, the economic toll of the war becomes more apparent. Global markets are in turmoil, and the price of everyday necessities continues to climb. Public support for the conflict is waning, and the U.S. finds itself in a corner. It's trapped in a war that it can't win, a war that it might not be able to afford. The situation is dire, and the consequences of continued fighting are too grave to contemplate. Is this the end of the American dream? Or is there still hope for a peaceful resolution? If you like action-packed stories filled with suspense and danger, then make sure to stay tuned for more content like this. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious.